Most underrated driver in NASCAR, Chris Buescher. He doesn't have the support or the speed of everybody else, but damn it if he isn't underrated. How often do you look up at the TV and look at the scoring pylon and see Chris Buescher in 7th or 6th or just outside the top 10 in 11th or 13th? How often is he a top qualifier? Not often. We know the RFK cars aren't extremely fast. Fords in general haven't been fast this year. Um, but Chris Buescher is 7th in the standings, and he is running really well. You almost never see DNFs out of him, and they're never his fault. It's always him getting caught up in somebody else's disaster. Whereas his teammates, Brad Keselowski, can have some real stinkers of a day, and so can Ryan Preece. And Ryan Preece also seems to get in a lot of big wrecks. And they might not all be his fault, but Chris Buescher, he doesn't. He simply doesn't. He is always there, grinding his way through the field. Every single time you look at your screen, he's top 10, it feels like. He doesn't have the wins or the top twos, the top fives. His last win came at Watkins Glen in 2024, where he went head to head with Shane Van Gisbergen and beat him. He ran him down and beat him on the last lap. He's the most consistent driver in NASCAR, I feel. He has, through 13 starts this year, he has 2 top 5s and 6 top 10s and 51 stage points. That's pretty solid for a Ford in general that's not named Ryan Blaney and an RFK car. He is the highest in standings of all the RFK cars. Ryan Preece is right on the cut line. Keselowski's not doing terrible. I think he's in 11th in standings. But Chris Buescher's just not the flashy, fun, super great racing wheelman that a lot of these other guys are. But he doesn't have the wrecks either, and he doesn't have the bad days. He's just always there. Chris Buescher is the most underrated driver in NASCAR by far, in my opinion. I can't even just think about it. Who else is going to go up there? It's not Brad Kay. It's not Ryan Preece. It's not Carson Hocevar. He's not underrated anymore. And I don't know if he was ever. We were just waiting for him to get to the next stage. Not Ty Gibbs. Not Chase Briscoe. The most underrated driver in NASCAR is Chris Buescher. He's always right on the edge of the playoffs when we had the win and you're in. He could never get that win until it was playoff times. He seemed like he stepped it up for some reason after he was already out of the playoffs. But he was always there. It seemed like him and Bubba Wallace were always neck and neck for who got the last spot in the playoffs. And when you have 14 winners a year, there's only 2 spots. And there's always going to be somebody that just doesn't win, whether it be a Ross Chastain that just doesn't have a win that year, or somebody in that category. And you're going to get the oddball winners too, right? Like Daniel Suarez this year, Harrison Burton a couple years ago. It's going to happen, and that's why the playoff format just doesn't work, because guys don't get recognized like Chris Buescher. Guys that are there every week, every single week, they are right there. They are on the cusp of top 5s, and they are one good call away from a win, one lucky restart, one overtime away from a win. He's always there, and sooner or later he's going to start putting some wins together. I think he's going to win at some point this year, if not twice. RFK has themselves a good one in Chris Buescher. I see him being really strong throughout his career there. I'd really like RFK. They need to step up their game. They're the second best Ford manufacturer in the field. 2311 can do it, right? Why can't you? They might have the money, I guess, but you guys have a lot of sponsors, a lot of solid sponsors. Him and Ryan Priest are probably the funniest teammates in the league. They are they are great. Their commercial is hilarious, and Chris is just that down to earth, solid speed, there every week kind of guy, and he doesn't get the credit he deserves. Chris Buescher is the most underrated driver in NASCAR.